What's up everyone, Benry here with my next Flash game development series tutorial. And in our last tutorial, what we covered was basically traveling between towns. So if we were to test our current movie, put in a random name, say BEM, save our name, generate some stats, continue. Alright, we have our movement. We can talk to our little NPC, says his names, and he mentions us. We can save, and we all know what that does. But if we go to our town and say we click on town, our bar travels, and if we see in our output, it outputs a number and it says no battle caught. Well, that's due to our code that we did in our last tutorial, where we track if there's or we track the chance of encountering a battle. So what we're going to be going over in this tutorial is we're going to be starting the combat phase. And what I'm going to start doing is I got a new screen recorder, and I'm going to be zooming up on the code over here whenever I'm typing in there. That way you don't have to go full screen to look at the code. Alright, so if we see here, we have our two traces saying battle encountered and no battle caught. And what we want to do is, for testing purposes, we just want to make this extremely easy to catch a battle. Excuse me, I had to burp there. So let's change our chance to 50, giving us a 50% chance every time it checks for a battle. We have a 50% chance of encountering it. So, but what we also need to do is, I have my battle frame over here. You don't have to have it this nice. You can just do a white frame for right now. I'm just doing this basically to make it look a little nice. So, what we need to do is, if a battle was encountered, we need to send the game to this frame, which we have labeled Battle Zone 1. And this is just in case we want to have multiple battle zones. But for right now, we just have one. So, what we're going to do is, on this frame, we need to say if battle was encountered, for_root dot go to, and we don't need to actually have _root, we can just say go to, and actually not place, stop on frame battle zone 1. So if we go ahead and test our movie, Ben, save, generate stats. We go over here and gotta travel to a town. We locked out, I guess. There we go. We got a 4, which is obviously lower than 50, so it said battle encountered. We successfully traveled, and boom, now we're on our battle frame. So that's just something basic we needed to get out of the way. Alright. So now that we're on our battle frame, what we need to do is we need our character and an enemy. Right now I'm not going to go into the heavy duty of how to change to different, how to make I can't catch my tongue. I'm not going to go into creating multiple enemies in a single movie clip. That actually requires a lot of work. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to do one hero, and it's just going to be our circle, and then we're going to have an enemy, which is just going to be another circle, or to make it different, we'll make it a square, just so we can tell the difference. So if we go back over here, I just want to have some continuity. Make sure I get the same color as our enemy. We are going to, there we go. I want to give it a stroke of 1.5. Just create our enemy, or our hero, right there. Want to change his stroke to maybe 2.5. There we go, that looks a bit better. And what we're going to name this is, we're going to go press F8, and we're going to name this movie clip combat_hero. Or, moreover, hero_combat. It doesn't really matter. It just helps when looking through your library to know what the movie clip is for. Registration, I would recommend on center. You can probably set it anywhere. I'm not sure if it has any relevance right now. So we go ahead and hit that, and we have our hero. So let's go ahead and pull out our rectangle tool and make our enemy. Let's make him... let's go ahead and make him like this kind of lightish blue teal kind of color. Here's our square. And what you can do is, how these are so far away, I know it shows, see as I'm dragging it around, bring it back up. I know how it shows, I was trying to point at the screen, but you can't see that. But if you can see right under our hero and right under where I'm dragging, yeah, I know performance is low. Go away. But if you saw, there was like a little dashed line. Let me see if I can get it again. Well, you saw the top one. Oh, there it is. So right below our circle and our square, you can see there's a little line. Sometimes that's good, but sometimes you won't always have a flat bottom to your character. And there's like a common like flat ground you want to keep track of. See how we have these blue guides to determine our stage? Well, you can do the same with ground. You can go to rulers, bring down a vertical or horizontal one, and you can say right there, that way you know that's technically the ground of the game. But I right now don't necessarily need it, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off rulers. Now we're going to go ahead and hit our enemy. We're going to just, oh, not hero, derp. We're going to just name it bluntly enemy. Not too much. Okay, so right now, we're just going to use a flat rate for our character's health. So right now, let's go ahead and just determine variables right now. So let's just say variable hero 8 HP equals 100. You know, nice and straightforward. Let's see, let's create our enemy HP. What's my phone going off in the background? I don't know if you guys heard it. But let's see. And we'll make his 75. Okay. So what we need to do is we need a way, if you want, generally you display your hero HP with a HP bar. In our case, we're just going to use a couple dynamic text boxes for now, maybe later. And in another episode, we'll probably go over how to make the health bar. The enemy part is probably going to be a multi-series by itself, so let's just create two little random text boxes. We'll go ahead and have them aligned center. They'll be red. And we'll just kind of have this over here. Just type out some basic text to just get a size for the font. I don't want it that big, so I'm just going to change it to... Let's try 18. That's a little better. I like that. Shrink that, and we'll just place that over our hero. Now, obviously, this is kind of a bad thing to do. You want to stick to health bars because, as you can see, if our character eventually gets to the point where he has really high health, it'll stream off the side. But again, like I said, this is just basically a placeholder. And what we want to do is we want to first, let's go ahead and create give this an instant name as hero HP text, and then let's go ahead and copy this and place one over our enemy, and we'll name this enemy HP text. Okay, so we have hero HP text and enemy HP text. Now in our code, let's go ahead and go to let's do an onInterFrame function. And let's say hero HP text equals hero HP, and then enemy HP text equals enemy HP. So now if we were to test our game, what we should get is we should get a 100 over here and a 75 over here, and make sure you have any fonts used in dynamic. Make sure they're embedded. I always just click all. The only reason you would use anything else other than all is if, for instance, you're only using that font just for numbers. It kind of saves on memory size for the Flash. But right now we're storing all the characters of Tahoma on this Flash. That way Flash can use it dynamically. It needs to go away. So if we go ahead and test our movie, right now technically we don't even need to do that. It's just if we don't generate a name, as you can see. How are you, YouTube? That is a little confusing, but if we go to our overworld, we travel to a town, I'll make sure to get one that can surely generate a battle. There we go. And it's not generating. I think I might have some syntax wrong somewhere. Hero, HP tech. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Since we're referring to it as the instance and not a variable, we need to say dot text. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to create a name just to see if that fixed it. Yeah, I don't know why, just maybe I have it set to standardly be YouTube. I don't know. I haven't looked at the previous code in a while. Okay, so we got our battle, and now they are saying undefined. Oh, I am major derping right now. The HPs on these are not capitalized. Let's try this one last time. Boom. Boom. I might just have a button later that just takes us straight to the battle scene. There we go. So as you can see now that we have our hero HP with 100 and our enemy with an HP of 75. So, what I'm going to do for right now, I'm just going to, let's see, do I have a button that I can use? Generic button, there we go. I'm just going to put a, got to be on this layer. I'm just going to put two generic buttons down. One under there, and one under there. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have each one subtract our HPs to make sure our HP thing is working. So, interesting note about buttons is normally, let's say I were to say variable, or with a movie clip you have to have code on clip event load. Let's just say I have this, and I say var chance number equals 100. Let's just say I have that number has no relevance whatsoever. But since it's on a movie clip, it is technically within this instance of hero combat dot. So technically, this is referred to as this dot chance number. That's the name of the can't catch my tongue. It's referred to as this dot chance number, which is, let's just give it an instance real quick. We're gonna need it, hero. So technically, this variable is hero dot chance number. So we don't really need that, but like I said, I'm explaining something. With buttons, on the other hand, oh, okay, that was a terrible. I should have done this. Let's just say on clip event load. Let's just do this one last time. On clip event load, go to and stop on, whoops, on frame 2. So now what this code will do is, on movie clips, functions like this actually refer to in this movie clip. So in here, it would go to frame 2. Buttons, on the other hand, are not like movie clips. So if I were to say go to and stop frame 2, it will, buttons actually refer to the up, or not the upmost, its current layer, not its own movie clip. So go to and stop 2 would take our current time frame right here to right here. So just a little tidbit of information, just a little help. So I can release that. So what we're gonna do is on release, we're gonna hero HP minus equals 5, and we'll, excuse me, do the same for enemy HP. Enemy HP. And this is just basic stuff, but it has to be done, trust me. So make sure I have my variables right. Alright, so generate whatever, save, generate stats, continue, go to our overworld. Travel to the longest town. There we go, battle encounter. So if we click, there we go, our health is actually working. Now if you notice, we can go into the negatives, and this applies to both. And in the actual game, when we're using a health bar, we don't want to have negative values. That'll actually mess with it. So what we will do real quick is say if hero HP is less than 0, then hero HP equals 0. And do the same with enemy. If enemy HP equals 0, oh, it's less than 0, then enemy HP equals 0. Now this will prevent our stats, or our HP, from dropping below 0, which is what we want. We don't want the character's HP going below 0. So if we go in and click, 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 boom. As you see, it flickers there for a moment. We could eliminate that by adding an extra function or if statement on the button that checks if the enemy's HP is already below 0, and if it is, do not -5. But in the case of the game where they attack, let's say they do more damage than our health, we're going to have that brief flicker. Or you could just make a code that if it would come out to a negative number, then the damage done to them is the exact number needed to kill them. But again, that's going to be in a later episode when we actually start calculating damage with our player's attack and whatnot. So this is going to be it for the first part. The combat can probably be considered a sub-series, simply because there's so much to the combat. Combat's probably one of the most difficult parts to an RPG game, other than like the quest system and inventory. So this has been Silverbender. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next Flash game tutorial series where we cover more on combat. Thanks for watching.